What's good, Maddock Empire? It's your boy, Emperor Maddock, back with a great another banking what if. But today, this what if is special. As you can see in the thumbnail, it says, "What if Deku was Jason?" Let's get it.
Your face, baby. Throw that ass to the base, baby. No, baby, we can't have a baby. If you don't take this plan B, bitches plan C. Must be your ass, cause it ain't your face, baby. Throw that ass to the base, baby. No, baby, we can't have a baby. If you don't take this plan B, bitches plan C. When I pull out the D.
So we start off this what if like this, as we have our boy Deku as a quirk doctor with his mom. That's basically the quirk doctor does his whole test on Deku, finding out that he's quirkless. And when they get back home from the quirk doctor, Deku goes directly to his room and he starts crying. But while he was crying, Inko goes on her computer and she's looking for camps from people with quirks and some without quirks, just trying to make Deku fit in a little bit more. And she finds one. This camp is located literally out in the woods by another camp who's very popular in their region. Inko smiles and she thinks, I don't want my son to know what I'm doing, so I'll surprise him on his 7th birthday coming up. Excuse me. So yeah, time skip to when Deku is 7 years old. Deku is sitting at the table, smiling, but on the inside, he's crying. He's begging for somebody to help him until he sees his mom. Deku looks over, asking, "What is that?" Nico says, "Well, you know how I've been working really hard lately, and I've been doing overtime, and the reason why is because of this." Nico then shows Deku the camp flyer. Deku sees it and he reads it saying, "Oh, nice, a camp." But something catches his eye. It says for everyone. And at the very bottom, it says, even for quirkless. Deku got up and hugged Inko, saying, "Thank you. Thank you, Mom." Inko said, "You're welcome, honey." Deku had asked Inko, "When do I leave?" "Well, about a few weeks from now." "So, 2 weeks?" "Yeah." So, from that point on, Deku has been getting ready, doing good in school, and just everything, trying to get into the summer camp for those 2 weeks until those 2 weeks are up. Deku is at the bus stop, waiting for their camp bus to come up to the bus stop, and it does. Deku looks at it and he says, "Well, okay, bye, Mom," and he just walks on the bus. And from that point on, Deku is looking for a seat until he finds a seat by a girl, no, by two girls, names Himiko Toga and Amy. So yeah. As Deku is sitting by them, Deku tells Toga that he's quirkless. Toga says she really doesn't really care about all that quirks and quirkless shit. And the same thing goes for her, Amy. Time skips when they get to the camp. They get there and they have to unpack everything they have into cabins. But the cabins aren't really separated by boys or girls. So yeah, Deku chooses to have a cabin with Toga and Amy. Deku goes to his cabin and he empties out his stuff. Time skip a few weeks. Deku has gone along with Toga and Amy and some more of the other kids there too. Until one night, Deku was at the river and he was just sitting there gazing at the stars and the trees and the birds until he hears 10 people come up behind him and he looks back and he sees Amy. Amy says, "Oh, hi there, Izuku. How's it been going, huh?" Deku says, "What are you doing here, Amy? Didn't you have cafeteria duties?" Amy tells him, "Well, no, I didn't have those because I finished those yesterday." Deku says, "Oh, okay. So, why are you here?" Amy says, "Well, to do this." And she pushes Deku inside of the water. And she uses her quirk, which is called weighting. And if you don't know what that is, basically, it's what the name says. She is able to weigh people, making them heavy or lighter. And now back to Deku. Deku is drowning. Yes, he is drowning fast and faster and faster because that lake is goddamn deep. And when Deku hits the bottom, he starts struggling to breathe. And now back to the surface. As Amy is laughing with her friends, Toga sees this all happen and she gets angry. She goes to the broom closet outside and she pulls out a literal hatchet and she goes up behind them and starts hacking at their necks, cutting off their heads, cutting off arms, cutting ribs, breaking bones, taking out eyes and tongues. Toga does all of that. And the camp master, he doesn't hear a thing. Toga smiles, saying, "I'll make you all pay for killing my Izuku. Let's go, Amy." And she drags Amy's body to her cabin. And she throws the other bodies in the river to be eaten by the fish. So, time skip a few years. Toga has been eating Amy's body ever since she was 7. She has started eating bodies like Amy's at a very young age, to the point where the camp master found out and he called her a villain. And around that time, her quirk had manifested, and she started a life of a villain from that point on. Until one day, Toga was at the old campground of her camp, and she goes over to the dock, grabbing a bottle of some sort, and she opens it and she pours it inside of the river. This bottle, if you're wondering, was a bottle of Hennessy. Yes, liquor and name. She has poured it inside of there, saying, "Happy birthday, Izuku." And as she was walking away, this sort of water started bubbling. and she had turned around and saw a giant figure towering over her with a whole ass hatchet with him. Yes, the same hatchet that she used to kill Amy. Toga looked at the person and she noticed something. That person had green hair, but he was naked for some reason. Toga had walked up to this person and had asked, who are you? The person looked down with a sort of weird expression saying, Toga. Toga back asking, how do you know my name? The person said, it's, it, 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 it's, Toga stumbled back and fell, crying, saying, no, no, you died. I saw you die. Amy killed you. Decky's Deku said she didn't kill me. I was revived by Cork. Toga stood back up and she lunged at Deku, hugging him. But as she was hugging him, she had felt a little nudge down there. She had looked down and said, "Oh my, Izuku, what have you been up to?" Deku had looked down, saying, I haven't been doing nothing." Toga smiled, saying, "Well, let me see." And she starts looking around thoroughly, and she finds her old cabin. Toga says, "Come with me." Deku goes with Toga, and they go to their old cabin. Toga drags Deku in there, and she pushes Deku on an old bed, which is oddly still in good use. And she starts going in on his Oma too, as you all know. But as she was going in, something was hurting Deku. Deku started screaming and yelling and growling, saying, "Stop! Stop!" Toga stopped while she was still on All Might. Deku had looked at Toga, saying, It hurted. What do I do?" Toga had leaned in and gave Deku a hug, saying, "Don't worry, I'll do it all by myself. Now, give me some of your blood, Isuku." Deku said, "My blood?" Toga was surprised because Deku has been speaking in literal small sentences and just with words. Small words, actually, okay? Toga said, "How can you talk like that? I thought you couldn't really talk like that." Deku said, "Well, that's a good question. Well, I think it is because of you hurting me in my own life. But, why do you need my blood?" Toga then gets off of Deku's own mind and she explains everything. Deku gets furious with Toga, saying, You you used your quirk for villainous reasons." Toga had looked down, saying, I'm sorry. I had lost you. I had lost myself in vengeance. The camp master saw me use it on Amy and her friends, and I sort of been labeled as a villain all my life. And the day I had came to camp, my parents had erased everything because they didn't want me to grow up like a villain. Deku sighs and Toga, yeah, Izuku, can you give me some clothes? Wait, why? Well, because of one thing. I'm butt ass naked. Okay, Izuku. Maybe you had to get up off of it like that. And Toga said, well, because of one thing. It was good. And then she goes and gets Deku some clothes. But she finds a mask as well. A sort of old bunny mask. And she throws it at Deku saying, wear this. Deku starts saying, okay, fine. Toga and Deku leave the camp, but as we're leaving, a person would come in front of them saying, Toga, what is this? Huh? And that person you would guess would be Shigaraki. Toga would say, well, uh, this is my friend. Izuku. Shigaraki would then look at this tall person in front of him and say, don't be crazy. This can't be your friend. He's too tall and you're short. And Deku hears this and he gets offended. He grabs his hatchet and he was going to swing it at Shigaraki's head, cutting that motherfucker off until Toga stopped him, grabbing his hand, whispering, don't. And this is where I'll be leaving it off for now. So, yeah. Goodbye, everybody. Hope you liked it.